Welcome to Mainmade Tutorials with Mainmade Crochet. In today's episode, we will be learning how to make a frilly crop top. The skills needed to make this are chain, single crochet, double crochet, and slip stitch. Materials are a 3.5mm hook, yarn weight 3 grams or more. You'll need scissors, and if you'd like to make a different size, you'll need a measuring tape. So let's get into sizing. It's actually pretty simple. So all you need to do is start off with a chain respective to the length of the size you want to make. So for example, size small would be 3 inches, and then every size above that you just want to add 1 inch. So 4 inches for medium, 5 inches for large, so on and so forth. And that's all we really have. So let's get right into the tutorial. So we're going to start off with a slip knot, and then you're going to make a chain long enough to get to the size that you're making. Today we're making a size small, so we are going to make a chain of 17 in total. And if you don't remember, a chain is simply yarn over, pull up a loop, and continue that for the total amount of chains you need. Okay, and once you have the chain length that you need, we are going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's this one right over here with a double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then you're going to continue inserting double crochet in each one of the chains that you made until the end of the row. Okay, so here we are at the end of the row, and we have one more chain. That's this one right over here. Make sure you don't miss that one, so just go in with your last double crochet, and then you should have something that looks like this. Okay, now that you're at the end of the row, if you would like to know where we are in the project, we are right here in this center piece. What we're going to do from here on out is make this triangular formation that creates the bra cup itself. So to do that, you want to chain up 3 and turn your work. Then you're going to insert a double crochet in each one of these stitches. And then when we get to the last stitch, we do something a little bit different. So I'll meet you back at the end of the row and show you what that is. Okay, so here we are at the end of the row, and if you turn your work up this way and you look at your last 2 double crochets in the first row, you can see that there's holes in between the posts, like there is every other double crochet. So we want to insert 3 double crochet right here in between these last 2 posts of the row underneath it. So to do that, you're just going to yarn over as usual, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then in this same space right here, we're going to go ahead and just insert 2 more double crochets, leaving you with 3 in total. So what we just did there is we're making this little tip point for the cup, and now we're just going to go back all the way down. So if you want to turn your work to help you a little bit, we're going to get started on the next side. This is the next stitch, and it's what we will be working with. It looks like this. So you're going to yarn over and insert your hook right there. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you can start to see the tip making its form. So we're going to continue that all the way down until the end of the row. So here we are at the end of the row, and I just wanted to hop in quickly to make a point about the bottom of your cups. Make sure not to miss the very last stitch, because that tends to happen in bra cups, and it will give you a really weird, jagged, uneven looking edge. So just to avoid that, make sure you go into the very last stitch to keep everything nice and even. So here's what everything's looking like. From here, you just want to repeat exactly what you just did. So we're going to chain up 3 and turn our work, and we're going to insert a double crochet. Make sure you go into that very first stitch in every single chain until you reach those 3 double crochets that we put in between those posts, and I'll show you how to deal with that when we get to the top of the bra cup. So here we are at the top of your work, and you can see that these 3 double crochets are clustered together. And if you're a beginner, it could be beneficial to just insert a stitch marker into that second double crochet. So this is the first one, this is the second one, and a stitch marker can be anything. I'm just using some scrap yarn right here. I don't like to use them because it distracts me, but it will be beneficial for some of you, so I'm just adding it in there. So we're coming to those 3 double crochets. What you want to do is just add 1 double crochet into the first one, and the one in the middle, which is the second one, you want to go ahead and insert 3 double crochets into that same stitch. So this would also be considered an increase, just 3 double crochets into that one stitch, and in the third stitch of the 3 you're going to add 1 double crochet, and then you're going to continue everything as normal with 1 double crochet in each stitch until the end of the row. After you finish your cluster, you also want to move your stitch marker, and you want to insert it back into that second stitch of the 3 double crochets. So here are the 3 of them. This is the second one. So just go ahead and add your stitch marker into the third one like that. And that's basically how you use a stitch marker. So keep on going until the end of the row. Okay, so here we are at the end of the row. And like I said, remember to get that very last stitch to make sure that your cup is nice and even. Okay, so this is what everything is looking like. So what you want to do is repeat this for 3 more rows, giving you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the center on each side, and there's 6 on this side. If you would like more or less coverage, just increase or decrease the amount of rows you will use, but I'm going to go ahead and make 5 to make it identical to this cup. And just as before, it's the same process. You're going to chain up 3, you're going to turn your work, go into that very first stitch, and then when you reach the top of your cup, insert 1 double crochet into the first of the 3 in the increase, and then insert 3 double crochets where you have your stitch marker, or in the second double crochet of the 3 double crochet, and then continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch after that. Make sure to move your stitch marker if you're using one. I'm just going to leave it there because I'm not going to use it anymore. And as always, when you get to the end, make sure just to go into that very last stitch. Okay, so here we are in the very last stitch. So if this is your first cup, what you want to do is chain up 1, pull up some yarn, and cut a tail, and fasten it off and tighten it. But if this is your second cup, you don't want to cut your work. What you want to do is chain up 1 after your last double crochet, and we're going to insert single crochet all along the bottom of your cup. So to do that, all you're going to do is put your hook in between the post, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, that's a single crochet, and you're going to continue that all along the bottom side of the cup. So what I like to do is just make sure they're evenly spaced out, and I do that just by inserting where my hook wants to go naturally. So there's a space right here and there's a space right here. I'm just going to go into this one. And if at any time I feel like it's too bunched up or too close together, I'll just go back and insert another single crochet. I can undo it like that, and then just insert another one here instead, if that looks more appealing to me. And it does, so I'm actually going to leave it that way, and that's how I go about that. There's no literal rhyme or reason because every project is different. If you ever find an exact number that you like, you can stick to it, but I always go by the feeling because at the end of the day, it never really makes a big deal, and if you need to make adjustments later, you always can do that. And whenever you have a tail end, make sure you work that into your work as you go, so you will not have to weave it in later at the end of your work. So here we are coming to the end of the cup. You just want to insert 1 last single crochet in the very middle. And then what you want to do is take your second cup. I would suggest attaching it where the tail end is so you can work it in immediately. And what you're going to do is insert your hook into that very corner like so. Then you're going to go in with a single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now your cups are connected. And make sure to work in both of these ends now as you go along and do the same exact thing with the other cup. So just go ahead and continue to insert those single crochets all along the bottom of your 2 cups. Okay, so here we are at the edge of the cup. I'm just going to go ahead and insert my last single crochet. So you can see that the ends can get a little bit messy. What I like to do is just tug on them and then I'll cut them. And then when you pull on your work, they'll just disappear into itself. And now it looks nice and clean. So at this point, I do have another end over here that I worked in. I'm going to cut that one as well. But now we have 2 cups that look something like this. So from here, we're going to go ahead and add in the frills. So to do that, we are going to be using double crochet again. So what you want to do is just chain up 3. And then you want to insert 3 double crochets into every stitch. So just like we did at the top of the cup over here where we entered 3 double crochets, in each one of these stitches we are going to insert 3 double crochets. So right now these are 2 stitches and I have 6 double crochet in total. I'm going to go into the next one and add 3 again, and I'm going to continue that until I get to the top of the bra cup, and I'll show you how it changes when I get there. So here we are at the top of the bra cup with those 3 double crochets. So I already inserted 1 double crochet in the first of the 3. I'm going to go ahead and insert 2 more to make a total of 3. And in the second one, just like we always did, we're going to insert an increase, except we are going to put 6 double crochets all in that same stitch. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's actually going to fit pretty easily, and it will look something like that. Then we're going to continue with 3 double crochets in each stitch like we were doing this entire time until we reach this middle section, and I'll show you what we do when we get there. Here we are in the middle of our bra cup, and we have this piece that connects our cups. So we're going to go into it with a slip stitch, and a slip stitch is insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull the loop through. That is a slip stitch, and that would just connect the little frill into the center. And then from here, you want to make sure that your cup is facing the right way, because if you don't, you can mistakenly work into your work upside down like this, and then your bra will be twisted. So make sure that it's facing the right way and it's not twisted, and go into the very first stitch, this one over here, with 3 double crochets as usual, and then continue that frill pattern all the way around with the 3 double crochets in every stitch. And when you get to the top of your cup, remember to insert 6 double crochet into the very middle stitch. I'll meet you when I'm done with these frills. Okay, so after you insert your last 3 double crochets in the very last stitch, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing along the bottom of the cups. So we're going to yarn over, insert 3 double crochet, and do that in every single stitch until you reach the last stitch over here at the end of your second cup. Okay, so here we are finally at the very last stitch. I'm going to go ahead and insert my last 3 double crochet. And then from here, what you want to do is slip stitch into this chain 3 space. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull it through. Then you're going to chain up 1, pull up some yarn, and cut your work, pull to fasten, and then you're going to weave in this end For now, the last two things we need to do are to make the drawstring and to make the 2 straps. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make one of the straps. So do you remember those 6 double crochets we had up here at the top? You want to go into the 3rd stitch or the 4th one, as close to the middle as you can get, and insert your hook at the top. You're going to take your yarn, put your yarn over your hook, and pull up a loop. Then from here, to make a knot, you're going to take the tail end and pull it through the loop as well. And you can tug on that. You can make another knot just like that. And then from here, you want to start to make a chain. So you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. And then you're going to make a chain long enough to tie around your neck. Anything from 60 to 100 is pretty safe for a chain for your neck. Really, here you can use your discretion. It's really easy to adjust the length of your neck chain if you don't like it later on. So I would always say go longer and then cut shorter later if you don't like how long it is. So once you get to your desired length, you're just going to pull up some yarn, cut, and then tug on your work to tighten it. And then after you do that, I'm just going to show you how I weave in the ends. So I like to just take my hook and snake it through the tops of the double crochet. So just pick up a little piece of the post like that, and then take the tail yarn, wrap it around, and I'll just pull it through. You can weave in your ends with a yarn needle, which is what most people do, but I just like using my hook because I can never seem to find a yarn needle. So you want to go one way, and then you want to do the same thing but in the opposite direction. So make sure when you cut your tail, don't make it too short so you can have it go in both directions. So after you do that, again, you just want to yarn over and pull it through. And now it's nice and secure. And then if you really want to make it nice and hidden, you can go in one other direction. So I would pull it down, just go underneath those stitches and pull it down like that. And now it's nice and clean. So now you have your strap, and you want to go ahead and do the same exact thing on the other side. But I'm going to show you how to make the drawstring. So now you want to go ahead and make another chain. And this chain needs to be long enough to go around your waist and tie into a bow. So I would suggest anything of 150 or more. If you're making a smaller or larger size, you will need to adjust to what's appropriate for that. So once you're done your chain, you just want to go ahead, cut, and pull up and fasten. And then you want to take your bra top, and we are going to weave it along the bottom of the 2 cups. So to do that, what you want to do is start from one of the ends, and you're going to insert your hook and weave it back and forth in between those spaces where the single crochet and double crochets meet. So it's going to look something like that. You're going to take the chain you just made, hook it onto your hook, and pull it through. Okay, and just pull it up. And then you want to insert your hook into the very center or close to it, maybe a little bit off to the side, and weave your hook back and forth again in between those holes. And then you just want to pick up the chain from where you left it off. If you're using a yarn needle, you can just do this in one pull and just pull it through. So then you just want to pull that up. And then once you have it come through the center, you want to turn your bra, and you want to do that from the opposite side. So on your other cup, you just want to weave it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And you want the chain to enter from the outside of the second cup. So you just had the chain come from out here, and then we're going to connect it and have it come back on the second outer cup. So just hook it on and pull it all the way through. You want to go close to the center again, or a little to the side of it. Weave your hook in those last few spaces, and then just pull this through. You want to make sure that you continue to pull on the same side, because if you don't, then you're just going to chase the chain out of the cup, and then you're going to keep on having to go around and around and do this again. So how I check is I look at the ends, and then I'll pull one side and see which one's getting shorter. So I want this one to get shorter. So when I pull, let's see what happens. So that's how I know I'm doing the right thing. And when I open it up, it's going to be connected, and there should be 2 strings falling from the center. And then you can just pull to adjust them and make them a similar size. All right, cool. So here is what it is looking like. I'm going to go ahead and attach my other strap and weave in my ends, and then show you guys what it looks like. So as you can see, the strings in the center are really long. I don't like the length, so I'm just going to show you how I fix that. Basically, what you want to do is just undo the knot at the end of the chain, and then you want to pull on the chain and it will unravel, and then just cut it at the length you want. You guys know I hate counting, so I don't count my chains, so this is usually what I do at the end of my project. I just adjust it until it's at the appropriate length, and then I'm happy with it. But that's what it's looking like. You can also kind of pinch the bottom of it to make the cups go in. It can give it a little bit of a different look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. That's all I have for you today. Take care. Bye.